and welcome to This is Pikeville, a time we get together and discuss all the wonderful things related to tourism going on in the city of Pikeville. Certainly, with summer approaching, we're already well into spring. Jimmy Taylor's got his hands full with a lot of different events and things for people to do. Do you not,
goodness,
sir?
Yes, we sure do.
Yeah.
Jill.
Jimmy Taylor, Director of Tourism with the City of Pikeville. Also with a guest today. We typically have a visitor with us today. Tommy Chamberlain is here today, and he is going to be talking about a wonderful exhibit that we have upstairs, the gallery upstairs at the Appalachian Center for the Arts. Always have to get that in. He is the curator of the World of Jesus exhibit that is there now, so we'll really dive into it in just a few minutes. So Tommy, thanks for being here so much. We got to let Jimmy get his events, you know, and get all that information out of the way first. So
We don't have near enough time in the show for
we
that.
really don't. We really don't. We could be here, as you said before we started recording today, a mini-series if we wanted to. But as we're still in the middle of a pandemic, of course, but certainly not where we were last year. And last year, you know, we all know how difficult and hard it was for people in our positions to have to cancel things and restructure and redirect attention and focus. So last year, obviously a hard year for everybody, no question. However,
It was a great time to be tourism director.
Well, yeah, I know you say that kind of facetiously.
I do.
But what it allowed us to do was to really get our arms around planning for when we come out of a pandemic. And that's certainly what you have been doing. Andy, Minta, our Main Street director, Robin, Larry, and Paul at the arena, making sure that once we're allowed to be back open and welcome people into our city, that there's a lot of things for them to do, and we have got a lot of things planned.
We have got a lot of things, yes,
First,
ma'am.
let's talk about the fact that our community centers have now reopened with a little bit of an adjustment for people to book some events, and then we'll go on to some other related tourism things.
Both of our community centers, the Garfield House and the Bob Amos Community Centers, are now open. We used to do that. You could book either the day or the evening shift. Now we only allow people to book days, full days, and that's so that we can do the deep clean that's required after each visit. Also, I get a lot of questions when people do book our community centers about, well, do I get a key? Do I come and pick up a key? Where do I get the code? Always, I will email you a code in your email the day before your event. So you never have to worry about that, nor will you ever have to worry about coming into a facility where someone else has been in there beforehand and the tables may be a little dirty or anything like that. We do a deep cleaning after each visit.
Yeah, we are really focused on getting visitors to Pikeville, and certainly something that the pandemic has caused to happen is that people are still wanting to stay closer to home, maybe those 2, 3 hour, 4 hour trips. So
Yes,
we are really focusing on a regional, Southeast regional tourism campaign to make sure that people know what Pikeville has to offer, and certainly our surrounding areas,
yes,
full of natural beauty, a lot of different opportunities. We want you to come here and stay, and then branch out to our other neighbors that we have within our area.
Whether you stay in our hotels or our RV park,
Yeah.
we always have a place for you to visit.
Yeah, visit Pikeville.com, great place to find out everything that's going on, listing of events, the way that you can book shelters, stay, get the information that you need. The
KY.gov.
And PikevilleKY.gov, certainly. So the RV park, you mentioned that, is something that's been very, very popular
It
during
has.
the last year.
The city had decided long ago that they wanted a beautiful RV park for people to come in and visit Pikeville. So we've got concrete pads for you to set your RV on. They're all full hookup, which is power, water, sewer, cable TV, and Wi-Fi internet. You would be hard pressed to find any facility like that in Eastern Kentucky that offers those amenities.
I agree. As you travel around, you see a lot of other RV parks, and certainly ours compares nicely.
Oh, absolutely. You're close to our horse barn, kayaking track, tennis courts. I mean,
it's all there.
What more can you ask for?
Certainly so. And with a host like you, you know, that's just a cherry on top.
Thank you.
So one of the things that we've been doing, this will be we just completed our 8th Reels in the Hills movie.
Yes, we did.
During the pandemic, you know, theaters shut down, you couldn't go to the movies, so we found a way to get people safely to watch great films and great movies. We do that at Bob Amos Park, just adjacent to the walking track called Reels in the Hills. The last one that we just did was Wonder Woman
84.
84,
Yes,
nicely attended. And the next one that we have is going to be a little different.
It is going to be a little different. What we decided to do was, instead of us picking out a movie, we wanted the public to be able to do it. So if you go to our Facebook page, after this show, I'll have a link up to where you'll be able to vote for your favorite movie, or tell us what you would like to see, and maybe if it's popular enough, we'll play it for you.
Yeah, it's a really good time. And I think about when I was a child, and a lot of people can recall this, when you have those large drive-in theaters, and those have really gone by the wayside. There's only
The
just
Pollyanna.
a few. Yeah, there's just a few left on the eastern seaboard.
Yes, ma'am.
Really. So with our ability to purchase our own projector and
40-foot
purchase
inflatable
a massive screen,
yes.
we're able to use it for a lot of different things. So this is going to be an event that we have for a long time to come.
Absolutely.
I feel like. And you can always get great snacks because the arena provides the
Popcorn,
concession stand.
snacks.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
some
Wes
good
does a
stuff.
great job with that.
He certainly does. Let's talk a little bit about Pikeville History Moments. This is something that you and Brad Sloan have worked on faithfully for a long time, and they're so well received. The latest one that you're working on right now, I guess I could go ahead and say,
You can.
Effie Waller-Smith,
Yes.
a wonderful actress, Jessica Mullins, came and portrayed Effie Waller-Smith, which is one of our favorite daughters here. And now she has shot on location. We're finishing that up to be a Pikeville History Moment, and that has just been a remarkable adventure.
Jessica is very engaging. Let me just put it to you that way. So when you watch these, this Pikeville History Moments that we're shooting now, you're going to see. It was like being on the set of a movie when we went up there. Yeah. When she speaks, you just want to watch and listen. It's just like watching a movie when we were up there, and I was just amazed. The locations are great. She was great. I couldn't be more thrilled with this one than if I tried.
Yeah, she's been a delight to work
She
with,
has.
and so continue to watch our social media platforms, our YouTube channel for when that new Pikeville History Moment will be released. But the other ones are also on there too, so you can
20.
see all kinds of different history-related components to
Our
what
History
we have in
Moments
our area.
YouTube channel has blew up. We're over 1,000 viewers now, subscribers, with over 156,000 views. It's amazing at the response that we've had for these.
Been a lot of fun.
Pike TV's done an amazing job helping us with this also.
Absolutely, can't say enough about them. So as we talk about events that we're planning and different things going on, the arena is loaded for a lot of different events.
I get calls every day about Main Street Live. When do we have a Main Street Live?
Yeah.
When do we have a Main Street Live? Well, I can tell you it's June the 4th. Or is
Yeah,
it
the first
is it June
one.
4th? June the 4th. Full house band, Julie Goff, amazing talent there. That'll be our first performance on the plaza.
And those are every couple of weeks.
Every 2
so
weeks.
2 a month. You mentioned the Full House Band, the Pastime Band, Countrywide, Midlife Crisis, Down to the River, Roger Lee Charles, and A Little to Nowhere. Countrywide, again, the Full House Band, those guys. And then Dueling Bands Bike Night is always, the bike nights are always really, really popular and attract people from all over. And then Johnny Pop Day is going to be the last one coming up in September. But always watch social media, all those
Always.
platforms.
Visit
the arena.
Pikeville.com. You can download our app for Android or Apple. It'll tell you everything that's going on in Pikeville. Even most of the time when they pop up for us to do, we always try to push it out to our website so you'll know as well.
Yeah, certainly. So just keeping everyone informed as to the different opportunities they have
Absolutely.
for events in Pikeville and certainly around the region. And that brings me to Tommy. We mentioned at the top of the show that Tommy joins us today, and he is the curator of a wonderful exhibit, a director of that exhibit called The World of Jesus. And I have mentioned this before, but I can't express enough how important it is, especially in this day and time, to get in there, view that exhibit, not just people that are our age or of a more mature audience, but certainly our kids need to understand the importance of this type of exhibit and teach them about the New Testament and what that offers. So Tommy, I want you, for the remainder of our time, to tell us a little bit about how this exhibit came to be.
Well, the exhibit actually is the second project that I've been involved with. The first one was over at the York House. And that one was called Kerbet El Makadar and a Journey Through Biblical History. That one basically went from 4,000 years ago up through the Byzantine age of 1,500 years ago, and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed being involved in that, and by getting involved in that, the archaeology group we worked with, the head archaeologist advised me that I was then going on the digs. And I always laugh because I don't remember being asked, I was told. It didn't take too much, but so I got really involved, and at that point I said, with that process, the museum partners we had made, I said it would be a shame to let all that just disappear and not take advantage and do something else. And so that's really where the World of Jesus was born out of, the desire to take advantage of those opportunities, those partners, and let's create something new. And so we did the World of Jesus. We wanted to pick a time frame and focus on one spot, and what better choice than the period of the New Testament and first century Israel, Judea. So that's where that project came from, was saying to these museum partners in the excavation, why don't you loan us some more material?
Yeah.
And let's take a look at this time period in detail.
What I think is so interesting when you go into the exhibit, there's so many different facets. And I have remarked to friends of mine that you go once and then you leave with questions and you want to come back and see it again because you may have not just been able to absorb everything, all the information that is there, and really stand and appreciate what those exhibits and those artifacts look like. I know you have been to Israel and on those digs. I know that there's plans maybe for you to go back soon and do it again, which I know you're really excited about.
Oh, yeah.
But talk a little bit about, like, if I'm a newcomer and I go into the gallery upstairs, what's the first thing that I'm going to encounter?
Well, what we try to do is we actually try to take the story chronologically. So when I talk about the first century, I surprise people a bit. We actually start 300 years before that with a real famous name from history called Alexander the Great. And we talk about how the world of that time changed from the power in the east, Persia being the great world empire, to the powers of the west, Greece and Rome. And if you read the Bible, it's pretty much, you end the Old Testament and you start the New, and 400 years has passed, and who are these Romans? Where did they come from? And so we answer that question, and we talk about that time period and how Rome came to power and how it affected Judea and the world that Jesus of Nazareth was born into. Now, one of my favorite small artifacts in the exhibit actually greets you just to your right as you come in the door. There's a display with jar handles stamped with people's names from 2,300 years ago. This was their large storage jar, their product. But in it is a little coin. And in the coin is the face of Hercules. We think that Hercules' model was Alexander himself. And the reason that coin is so neat is it was actually struck during the lifetime of Alexander the Great. So it's not something from much later, but we're literally looking at a coin from that lifetime. And so from there we carry forward into the Roman era, look at artifacts from the Roman era, and then we begin basically the gospel narrative. We walk from manger to cross and then thereafter, and we use artifacts that help bring to life daily life. What was Jesus of Nazareth experiencing? What did he eat out of? What did he drink out of? What did he wear? What did the community look like? What were things, that we read and we put a modern Western spin on it, but what was it like in that culture 2,000 years ago? And that's what we're trying to do with the exhibit, is kind of tear back 2,000 years of history and bring it to life for us today and understand it a little better.
As I sit here and I listen to you talk with such passion about this project that you were on and what the project and the display that is upstairs, it's remarkable to me that that it is all together, that it's in Pikeville, and it's here for us to see. I know that that's something that you're so excited about.
It is. There's nothing more proud than to share something like this with hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the people in our community, my friends, my family. And specifically, the reason is, for me, as a child growing up, if I wanted to see anything like this, that didn't happen in Eastern Kentucky.
Right.
It was a trip at least to Cincinnati, Chicago, if not farther, to see artifacts from the ancient world. And as a history lover, a Bible lover, things like that were things that just seemed very foreign, something I couldn't access as a child or a student here. And so getting to do that for our community and help bring that here, and something that you don't expect in a small town. The last project, how many times I heard, "I can't believe this is in my town."
Yeah.
Was a quote I heard, and for me, that's what this is all about.
And that's something really that we want to encourage not only our residents and our community members here in Pikeville and in our immediate area, but a far-reaching area. This is something that people from all over can come here to visit. And the great thing about it is it's not just a few week exhibit that it's on display. It's going to be until September 11th. So I think about that, especially this summer, when you're looking for something for your kids to do, or you're looking for a day trip with your family, or maybe a weekend overnight trip. What a wonderful addition to your itinerary this would be. To stop here at the Appalachian Center for the Arts, be in the gallery, which is upstairs, which is always what it was intended to be, to have this kind of exhibit there and display, and certainly with the Smithsonian exhibit that was just there before you, what it's creating and the culture of arts and appreciation for arts and history that it's creating in our area.
Well, you mentioned the Smithsonian project that was here. What I would love to see is us to become a hub, for these type of things, for this community. And there's so much to do here already. Wouldn't it be great if World of Jesus brought someone in, and we did see that last time. We had visitors from 13 states. And so, we hope folks will come in for that project and take advantage of everything else Pikeville and Eastern Kentucky has to offer.
Yeah, it certainly is a huge amount of things for people to do. And if I think about, if I'm creating an itinerary, I know Jimmy, we're going to talk a little bit in a few minutes about the river and the horseback riding and the breaks that we have. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump from us.
Yes, ma'am.
How wonderful it would be to add this into that 2 or 3 day trip. So we want to encourage everybody, obviously, to take part. But if I'm a pastor of a church or the leader of a Bible study group or what have you, how do I go about seeing this exhibit?
Right. So the first way you can see the exhibit is to come out from 2 to 5 on any weekday when it's just open to the public, and walk in and say, I'm here to see the Word of Jesus exhibit. So that's the easiest way. However, what if you want to bring a group? Or, that schedule doesn't work for you, and you're a working person that you can't get in there. Well, one of the great things we do is we allow appointments. So they can come in on the weekend, or a group can come in a Wednesday evening, Thursday evening, and see the exhibit. And I always like to say, and you have it to yourself. Now, when can you say that about a museum exhibit?
Yeah.
That you get a chance to have this stuff and take your time and look at it. And so that's one of the great things you can do here. Now, to do that, you'll need to contact the app at the email or phone number on the screen, and they can tell you how to make those appointments. But there's a second part of those appointments that I personally think is worth a little bit extra.
This is my favorite part.
And that's where they say, I would like to look around, but wouldn't it be great if somebody could give me some information and guide me?
Yep.
Well, I'm the guy that does that. So if they have a church group, a children's group, a school group, or if they just say, you know what, I'd like, my wife and I, we would love to have that experience and let somebody tell me all about it, then I'm your guy.
Yeah.
And we could do that by appointment. The same way, contact the app and we'll schedule that appointment. And I would love to come tell them all about what they're seeing and share about how these artifacts bring history to life from 2,000 years ago.
And, that would be the way. I love that you can go in any weekday from 2 to 5. That's a wonderful thing. I love that you can schedule times to come in and walk through yourself. But if I'm scheduling a time to go look at it, I want to understand a whole lot, so I want you to be there to walk us through. And I think what a wonderful opportunity it would be for families that might not be able to have, say, a family reunion in the traditional way. What a wonderful way this would be for them to get together.
To get this level of engagement.
And get this,
Oh, yeah.
I sit here and I'm listening to Tommy, and I know about the exhibit, and I know kind of the inner workings of it, but to hear him tell it is totally different. It's a game changer, and way that you can retain and get the information and the knowledge you need. So please, I encourage everyone that if you're listening or watching today and you just wanted to get there and haven't had the opportunity, you've got plenty of time to do that, but go ahead and take the opportunity to schedule some time, schedule with Tommy, or just pop on by. It's just been open for a week, or just almost a week. So we just are ready to welcome all of our guests. And I just, like you said, it's amazing to me that we have this type of exhibit with these kind of artifacts and this information in Little Old Pikeville. And it's
With this level of guidance.
with this level of guidance, certainly that is museum quality. And just thank you for your efforts, Tommy, and what you've done to bring it here, and the information and the expertise that you provide. It really is something. So thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing about the next dig, is that right, that you go on?
That's right. Hopefully this summer.
Hopefully
So,
this
yep,
summer,
yep.
and what you find and the
Yep.
information that you could bring back. We could sit here and talk about it all day long.
I'll give you a hint. I'm not allowed to tell you, but we think we have a really big announcement that I can't tell yet.
Isn't
So
that-
we
that's
have to
such a tease.
finish. We have to finish the work
Gotta
this
finish
summer.
first.
It's like
So-
having Josh Kessler here.
Isn't it
So-
though?
The arena does this to me all the time.
I can't tell you, but I know it's going to be big and it's coming. So Tommy, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and
Yeah,
like
thank
I
you,
said,
Tommy.
and your efforts too. And get out and see the World of Jesus exhibit going on now through September 11th.
theapparts.org.
Yes, all the information is there. Now, the app also has a lot of other things going on too.
They do.
Judy B. Jones Jr., Seussical the Musical, Marvelous Wonderettes, all of that is on the website that you can check out. In addition to some other things that, Robin's always adding.
Always busy,
And
always adding.
Yeah, and there are a number of things that are in the works that, again, we can't announce yet, but that is coming soon. One of the things I do want to mention that's happening at the arena, something new, the Gun and Knife, Pikeville Gun and Knife Show that's coming to the
Absolutely, yes,
arena. That's in June?
It is in it's
July,
on
I'm sorry, July.
July 17th and 18th. Saturday 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yes.
$8. You're not going to beat that. And they've got a lot of great people that come in and they make their own knives.
Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot of displays there and be able to buy those as well.
Going to be a lot of fun. They also have The Price is Right again has been rescheduled. Hopefully this time it'll stick.
I may be the tourism director, but I would love to spin that wheel.
Wouldn't you?
I would love to.
I would too. Maybe we could get in there behind the scenes and do a
Before
little
the
bit
show
of that
starts.
before the show starts. Yeah, because certainly we cannot participate. And then also in November, Rodney Carrington is coming to town.
Always a lot.
Yeah, and I do hear there's a number of really exciting announcements that they're working on right now, and it pains me that I can't talk about them, but I know there's something big coming up in that last 3 months of the month. So maybe in November, I don't know, but look for that to come. So let's talk about some adventure tourism that we have going on in the city. Spring is here. Trees are in full bloom. The tulips have popped up. We are excited to welcome people to the river. It's getting nice and clear after some flooding issues that we had. So what can I do if I'm coming to visit Pikeville this spring?
Coming to visit Pikeville this week, you can go horseback riding. You can learn how to ride a horse. You can do kayaking. We have some music going on at the arena Friday and Saturday. We also have an arm wrestling tournament Saturday.
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 Yeah. Are you going to be
Travis Badgett.
participating? Are you participating in the arm wrestling?
Well, last year I was the only person that beat him, or the year before last.
Of course
I was
you were.
the only person to beat him.
Yeah.
So come out. I don't think anybody here is going to be able to beat this guy.
No.
His name is Travis Badgett. He always brings a show with him when he comes. He's larger than life. We can't wait to host him. It's going to be a great event.
It is a fun time. I'm looking forward to it. And a lot of people that are very anxious to see this. I didn't realize there was such a large following for
There
arm
is.
wrestling, but apparently it's much, much bigger than what I
So
thought.
if you do want to participate, you come the day of. You'll pay your registration fee. You'll weigh in, and they'll put you in the class you belong in. Men and women.
There is a ladies component
Yes, ma'am.
too, so that would be a lot of fun to see. You mentioned Saddle and Paddle. That's
Saddle and Paddle.
ready to go. And then we do want to mention our murder mystery dinner is going to be in June. You're very excited. This has been on your checklist for a while.
Since I've become tourism director, I've always wanted to have a murder mystery here. Sometimes it's been a little difficult with people's schedules to get this coordinated, but I'm thrilled to tell you that we're going to have the murder mystery at the Overlook Event Center. Is that June the 28th, 24th, 6th?
26.
26th. I'll get it right.
Who schedules this stuff? I don't know. But there's a lot. I will say there's a lot
There's
that
a
you
lot.
have on your plate. So yeah, that is June 26th. You'll be able to see booking information for that coming up really soon.
Yes.
I was happy to be part of the group that selected what the theme is going to be for the night. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Can you imagine, let's say that they will let you have a certain person killed that night.
Yeah.
It could be you.
You never know.
It could be Tommy. It could be our city manager. I mean, it's going
I
to be
wouldn't
loads of
advise
fun,
that.
great food. I
Yes.
cannot emphasize the food that's going to be there. It's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Wes does
And
an amazing job for us with that.
he certainly does. Also in June, Dinner in White, our Main Street program. This is something that a lot of people participate in. It's absolutely a beautiful event. This year
is.
it's going to have a French country kind of theme, very elegant, very tastefully done as always. But also something that people haven't been able to get out and do in a long time is to just get out and have a dinner with your friends. You know?
Nita always brings a level of what I want to call class to this event. I have fun every time I go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun, and it's certainly something that we all look forward to. And then we mentioned the Appalachian Center for the Art, everything they have going on there. Of course, the World of Jesus that we've talked about, the Marvelous Wonderettes. Summer camps, Junie B. Jones Jr. for ages 5 through 12, Seussical Jr. 13 through 18. And then we have a number of bicycling and 5K
We do.
events that are now scheduled that certainly, I've always said it seems like there's one every weekend. Last year, there was a little different spin on that, obviously. But this year, Hillbilly Days,
Run for the kids.
for the kids will be the 17th. And then we have a couple of events in May, one in June, and one on the books for September 25th, and there could be more.
You can find all this on visitpikeville.com or our app, or for the 5K you can visit Run Sign Up.
Yeah. You are always such a wealth of information. We get through your list pretty quickly. So, you say you don't like doing this and you get nervous, but you do a great
I
job.
do get nervous, but you make it easy.
Of course, you're going to say that with me sitting here. Hey, Jimmy, thank you so much for all you do. You and Andy and Minta, and like I said, and Larry and Robin and everybody, Paul, just do a remarkable job making sure that our residents and our visitors primarily have a wonderful experience when they come to the city of Pikeville.
Thank
So
you.
it's easy when you love what you do, right?
It is.
All right. Jimmy Taylor, thank you so much. Director of Tourism, City of Pikeville. Tommy Chamberlain, always a pleasure. Looking forward to having that one-on-one time in the at the World of Jesus at the Appalachian Center for the Art. It is a wonderful display, and certainly everyone should get out to see it. Guys, thanks so much.
Thank you, Jill.
This is Pikeville. Thank you so much for joining us.